Today we're at Kai Phuoc Taha Mai. We're right here on the ADV 160 and the Click 160. We're going to do a comparison between these two really fun scooters. The engines and the engine characteristics of these. Click 160 is smooth, where you jump over to the ADV 160 and it feels like a tractor engine in comparison. Not a negative, but that's just what it feels like. It just has a thumpy tractor kind of feel to it. I like it. The low end power, it's really good on both of them. Top end speed's the same. I got 117 kilometers per hour on both of these. The Click seems to get there a little faster, which I'm sure it does because it is quicker off the line. How fast did you get this going?
130.
130?
Yes.
Wow, okay. This one, 117, I feel like I could go a lot faster.
Yeah.
No problem, right? 117 on this, I feel like I don't want to go faster. This just feels safer. Power to weight ratio, just by the seat of your pants when you're riding it, which one feels like has better power to weight ratio? That's gonna be the Click 160 by far. The Click 160 is as if somebody took a scooter, brought it to the garage and said, okay, how can we make this thing as fast as possible? And let's take away everything we don't need. And that's what makes this scooter so fun to ride. You come over here to the ADV and you can, already gives you an idea, the suspension is probably better, right? We have 2 springs, Showa shocks over here. Come over to the Click, 1 spring, 1 shock on this side. Brakes, 2 reservoirs for the front and rear on the ADV. On the Click, you only have 1. Jump on this, there's nothing up here. It's really stripped down. And in the city, you don't really notice it, but when you're in the highway, it feels like you're going pretty fast because there's just nothing protecting you. And then you jump on the ADV, you have much more plastic and everything up here, much better wind protection. So in town, it's no big deal. In fact, in town, that's probably a little bit nicer because it gets so hot in Thailand, a little more airflow. But when you're out in the highway, this is much nicer. And then if you hit any rain or cool weather, just pull that up, it gives you more protection here. The price for the ADV, 111,000 baht out the door, 72,000 baht for the Click. Having the narrow handlebars is very nice, slicing and dicing through heavy traffic, but it brings those mirrors in really tight. I find myself in this scooter checking my blind spot much more because those mirrors give me a good shot of my arm, so I'm only using about 50% of that mirror. So not good. All these little scooters are like that for me. And this is what I really like about the ADVs. They put a wide handlebar, more like something you see on a little dirt bike. So it pushes these mirrors out. So mirror visibility is much better on the ADV 160s. Now, of course, the trade-off is I can't squeeze through the tight spaces as well as I can on the Click 160. It does feel like it's crossed between a scooter and a little dirt bike. Comfort, they're both comfortable. As small as this Click 160 is, it's so much better than the Click 125. I have plenty of room in here. I never feel cramped on it. Usually my legs will run into this plastic and just feel kind of cramped. The Air Rocks comes to mind, 2 Click 125i's, but this is really comfortable. Now with 2 people on this light duty of a scooter, the suspension bottoms out for me often. In the daytime, not so much because I can see the bad road and maneuver around it very easily, but at night, I can't see some of those bad spots and I hit those. But then if I compare it to the ADV, the seat is softer, a little bit bigger, a lot more room up here, lots of room, wider handlebars. This whole area just fits me much better. I'm 5'11", Gig, she's only 5'3", and the suspension never has bombed out on me. Brakes, check out the front rotor on the ADV, and then check out the rotor on the Click. Back brake on the Click, it's a drum. Back brake on the ADV 160, it's a disc. If I'm riding this with 2 fingers and I have to do emergency stopping, which I got to experience on this scooter, it's full force 2 fingers. It stops good, but definitely takes a lot more effort to stop this. I also got to do some emergency braking on this one. Again, there's no comparison. The brakes are so much better on this. Anything this size and smaller, this scooter has by far the best brakes. Tires, you see the Click 160 as a street tire. The ADV 160 has a more of an all-terrain tire. So look at the front forks, how much smaller they are than the forks on the ADV. And many times I bottomed the suspension out on the Click. And I have yet to bottom the suspension out on the ADV. With 2 people on the Click, I would really avoid taking this thing off-road. Passenger comfort, this is a good one. The Click 160 for a little scooter, it's not bad. Then you compare it to the ADV 160.
So much better.
It's just better. The seat, it's just softer, it's more plush, but it's better quality seat. And then larger foot pegs.
Yeah.
One thing I like about these small scooters, this little switch here, if you turn it automatic, it'll shut the engine off at a stoplight. Just roll the throttle and it just starts back up and goes. Doesn't feel like there's any hesitation or anything. It's pretty cool. It works very well. Both these, the Honda ADV 160 and Click 160, have this switch.
Okay.
Fuel mileage for both these wonderful scooters,
42.6.
and 34.6 on the ADV. So that's about 81 miles per gallon versus 100 miles per gallon. And that's with me riding both of them. And a lot of that has to do with the weight. This is 17 kilograms heavier than the Click. Headlights for night riding, they're both very good for what they are. The ADV 160 is a bit better. You know, they're not motorcycle headlights, but at least they're better than my X-Max. Yeah, I would travel all over Thailand with this, but highway cruising, I mean, the X-Max, ADV 350 especially, are better choices. 40 minutes on the highway on this is a long ways. Now, one thing I'll say, because you don't have the wind protection, it really is stripped down. You're on this light duty thing. You can feel all the bumps in the road. Also, when you sit on this, you're just right on top of this thing. Where on this, with so much more plastic in the front, you do feel like you're sitting back a bit and you're sitting more in it, like you're a little more protected. When you're on this, you're thinking scooter. When you're on that, you think motorbike. It just doesn't feel like, you know, a traditional scooter like this does. Let's take a look at this. This is the deal breaker for me against getting that Click. Storage capacity is so much better on the ADV 160, and it's because where the fuel tank is. The fuel tank, so you have the step-through design, well, you gotta put the fuel tank somewhere, and they put it back here on these Clicks. I have seen some of these scooters, these step-through designs with the fuel tanks up front, like the Filano, the Yamaha Filano, the Fino, it's like this. A lot of these step-through ones are the fuel tanks here, and it just takes away your storage. You have enough room for one helmet, maybe something really small. You have so much better storage here. It's deeper, it's bigger, you just get a few more things in here. I can fit my laptop in here. My backpack will fit inside this, which is really nice. It gets so hot here in Thailand, I don't like wearing my backpack on the scooters. It just gets so dang sweaty. So being able to throw it in here is really nice. The two most important selling points for me, ADV 160 versus the Click 160, it would be the storage and the suspension. And then the third one you could throw in, the brakes. Overall fun factor on both of these is excellent for different reasons. Riding in the city through that heavy traffic, the Click definitely is a lot of fun. If I could replace my legs with wheels, everywhere I can walk, this can go, minus stairs. So easy, so nice to maneuver through heavy duty traffic. I've rode the Click 125 so many times, so many different Click 125s. And after riding this, there's no way I would buy a Click 125i. I don't know why anybody would. This is close to the same price as a Click 125i. Yeah. And this is so much more fun with that bigger engine. Which one would I buy? They're both really good looking scooters. Yeah. My choice would be the ADV 160. It's just a more versatile scooter. It's really good at everything. On the road, a little bit of off-road in the dirt and in the city. For a small scooter, my size, this is by far the most comfortable small scooter. I would rent the Click all day long. Super fun scooter to rent. The toughest decision still is deciding between the ADV 160, ADV 350. Both these scooters just feel like somebody from Honda came here and said, hey, let's build a scooter specifically for Southeast Asia, and built these ADVs. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up so I know.